Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as was the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, I hope everybody's having a beautiful day or beautiful night, wherever you guys are out there in the world. As we really look at this space right now, we are starting to see the altcoins waking up again. Big shout out to Income Sharks. He actually talked a little bit about the alts chart over on X. He posted this on the 2nd, where he showed the taps of supply on the altcoin market cap chart, and he's showing us going all the way up to around roughly 860 to 880 billion dollars on this chart, while we wait for the next big move on Bitcoin. And here we actually have alts finally breaking the major resistance, which is very exciting to see, because now things are happening. And guess what? It's time. The time is now to be focused on altcoins. If we look at the 24-hour span, there's a lot of questionable moves being made in this space right now, but we are seeing some altcoins making some nice moves. Algorand has been one to really kind of note, because listen, we had the chances to scoop some Algorand up under 10 cents, which was crazy. Filecoin doing some nice moves today. And XRP, by the way, is not shy to this party. XRP has started to see a little bit of a rise. Again, earlier today, we were talking a little bit about us reclaiming some levels. We are trying to right now, which is very, very exciting. This chart looks beautiful. If we look at the 1 year span, it seems as though we have that nice deep wick down to about roughly 58 cents. And now we are waiting to see a push above currently roughly the 65, 66 cent zone. So things are definitely getting interesting, and we could actually see that within the Bitcoin dominance chart. Again, as we really look at Bitcoin and as we look at altcoins, the number one thing to really look at when you are buying altcoins is buy them usually when you see the Bitcoin dominance chart expanding to the upside and hitting major resistance. And that's what you really want to see. And honestly, as we really look at this Bitcoin dominance chart, we're probably going to tap back down to about like this 52% zone, somewhere around that range. We've seen this multiple times back in 2017, 2018, and even in 2019 before, of course, Bitcoin dominance expanded much higher than this. I don't think that we go all the way up to about roughly 70+%, but I wouldn't mind seeing Bitcoin dominance yet again around like 60% or 60, even 2%. Somewhere around that range is fair. But listen, as we look at this, this is why we are starting to see some altcoins making some slight movements. XRP, dominance-wise, we're still watching this one pretty closely. Here you guys have it, because now that we have tested significant support, remember, this level must hold on the XRP dominance chart. This is like about roughly 2 almost 15%. This was right around the range of June, July, before the lawsuit announcement, which seen the XRP dominance chart rushing to 4+%, which again was very significant. So right now we're watching this pretty closely, because I do think that this is the level at which we should see an impulsive move to at least 2.6%, which would be a nice move in the overall market for the XRP USD chart. Now, outside of that, I just recently reported on the idea of Jamie Dimon and Elizabeth Warren talking down on Bitcoin and crypto and things like that. Well, guess what? The party did not stop there. We seen today, yet again, another great video come out. And when I say a great video, I mean a joke of a video. We just hear from Johnny Deaton. He's saying, is there time for me to buy a home in Massachusetts, actually move there and run for Senate against the government overreach hack in 2024? I'm a Massachusetts lawyer and have practiced in the location for over 15 years. I live in Rhode Island, less than 6 miles away from Seekonk, Massachusetts. I'm not suggesting I would win, but how I would love to confront her if I only bought a house there. I looked at in 2014. So as we really look at this, again, this is CNBC Squawk Box, the number one financial advice channel out there for U.S. citizens. We do see Justin, U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren, says there's a new threat out there. It's crypto, and we can't allow that to continue. Again, Squawk Box has become an absolute joke, as you guys are all aware. Again, Jim Cramer is another one that has been bearish on crypto. He was bearish on crypto during November and December and even January. And it's crazy because if you would have bought in November, December, and even January, the beginning of January, well, now you're in significant profit. Again, this is why I always say mainstream media is your enemy. And right now, as we start to see altcoins breaking out, and as we do see the entire altcoin market looking very ready, well, guess what? Now you're going to see a lot of this. Make sure, this is a huge warning for anyone out there watching. Make sure you know what you're holding. Make sure that you are aware of how big of a clown Elizabeth Warren and all these individuals are. Understand what their overall goal is, to keep you poor and out of crypto. Again, this is all to divert the attention. But look at this.
There's a new threat out there. It's crypto, and it is being used for terrorist financing. It is being used for drug trafficking. North Korea is using it to pay for about half of its nuclear weapons program. We can't allow that to continue.
So if they stopped paying with crypto, which, by the way, I doubt that they are, what other currency would they use? Is Elizabeth Warren going to stop them from using the US dollar, for an example? No, it's impossible. It's absolutely comical. But also, digital asset investor, digital asset buy, welcome back to X, posted this. Hey, Elizabeth Warren, I fixed it. Truth is contagious. You should try it sometime.
I'm so curious what was going through your mind when you heard Jamie Dimon's response.
Look, when Jamie Dimon and I are in exactly the same place, it's because we have a serious problem in this country.
JP Morgan says it has reached an agreement in principle to settle the Jeffrey Epstein sex predator litigation with the U.S. Virgin Islands with a payout of $75 million. The settlement ends a bruising episode in which each side accused the other of enabling Jeffrey Epstein's abuses and led to a series of embarrassing disclosures of relationships that high-ranking bank officials at the time had with Epstein himself, including one former executive who frequented Epstein's private island.
And that is a part of the financial system is being used by terrorists, by drug traffickers, by rogue nations in order to launder money, move money through the system and finance their illegal activities.
Investigators in Philadelphia are searching a cargo ship captured in what's being called one of the biggest drug busts in U.S. history. Some 17 tons of cocaine has been recovered, worth more than $1 billion on the street. Officials tell CBS News there might be another 30 tons on board on top of what they've already found.
And when I asked the question, should the rules that apply to their banks, and by the way, also apply to stockbrokers and gold traders and credit card companies and credit unions.
Reporters is that this has been going on for about 8 years, in which these traders, they specifically were clearly kind of talking about JP Morgan here. I mean, the names that we have in the story do refer to these JP Morgan executives. They had been spoofing the market for the better part of 8 years, and silver, gold, platinum, palladium, I mean, all of the precious metals.
What I'm talking about is the part of the system that makes sure that banks are not being used for terrorist financing, for example.
The nation's biggest bank is facing a $13 billion fine this morning for its role in the mortgage meltdown. JP Morgan Chase negotiated the tentative settlement on civil charges with the Justice Department. The deal does not end a criminal probe, and it could set a new standard in cracking down on bank behavior.
There's a new threat out there. It's crypto, and it is being used for terrorist financing. It is being used for drug trafficking.
JP Morgan Chase has agreed to settle fraud charges for its role in the financial crisis. Under this settlement, the bank will now pay $154 million, just shy of that, which is actually less than what it earns in 1 week. The SEC says the company misled customers about risky mortgage investments. Last year, Goldman Sachs paid $550 million to settle similar charges.
North Korea is using it to pay for about half of its nuclear weapons program. We can't allow that to continue.
JP Morgan, Barclays, Citigroup are amongst 5 banks fined a combined total of 1.07 billion euros by European Union regulators for taking part in 2 cartels in the spot foreign exchange market for 11 currencies.
You know, we have something called the Bank Secrecy Act, which is how banks are required to monitor certain kinds of transactions that go through the system. It was written in the 1970s following 9/11. The law enforcement folks went back, looked at what had happened, figured out how the financing had made it through the system, and that's the last time that Congress updated the Bank Secrecy Act. What we need to do is we need to update it again because there's a new threat out there.
JP Morgan Chase has officially settled with federal authorities over criminal charges that the bank ignored warning signs of Bernard Madoff's $65 billion Ponzi scheme. The bank will pay $1.7 billion to settle the claims, which authorities say is the largest bank forfeiture in history and the largest penalty by the Department of Justice for a Bank Secrecy Act violation. That act requires banks to alert authorities about any suspicious activity.
And again, you know, all of this is true. Like, as we really look at the big scam in the room, it is the banking sector. Listen, I've always said it. When you look at fractional reserve banking as a whole and all of the major players that are in the banking sector, Jamie Dimon, all of these big players, they're all fraudulent. They're all scamming the retail sector. And you know what's crazy about it? They get a slap on the wrist. Crypto companies get completely slaughtered to the point where they have to shut down. They are strong arming innovation that targets their monopoly system. They don't like it. They want control, though. That's the overall goal here. They want to give control to Jamie Dimon and all the big players. They want to make sure that the retail sector gets screwed out, even in crypto. Because again, they want to keep screwing us, especially in the banking sector and financial sectors. But also outside of this, when you really look at what's going on right now, it's insane. And guess what? It seems as though Jamie Dimon was serious. News Asset posted this. Well, Jamie Dimon meant what he said at today's congressional hearing with Senator Warren. I call on all crypto holders, enthusiasts, and supporters to move all funds and to ban the use of JP Morgan and all services thereof. Who the hell do these people think they are? And here we have our policy around crypto is changing. Here's what it means for you. And here we have from October 16th. By the way, this goes back a little bit ago. We actually talked about this on the channel. This was in UK and it is from September, right? We've talked about this already, but we know that they are serious about what they are talking about because they want to make sure that crypto declines. They want to make sure that crypto is cut off. And we talked about this heavily back in September. And what we were talking about then was the same thing that we're saying now, which is the fact that we know that the banks want control. They want to be the ones that are custodian crypto. They want to be the ones collecting fees. And again, it's ridiculous how greedy these bankers are. This is why, you know, crypto solves these problems. Just like Brian Brooks said, crypto is not here to replace currency. It's here to alleviate the pain points. And guess what is a major pain point? Banks and bankers. Outside of this, though, we recently just seen this while we're seeing all this crazy news going around on how crypto's a scam. The US passes bill to promote mass blockchain adoption. This is from Bankless Times. And you know what's crazy about this? Right? So at the same exact time, when we see these major bills going into play, another thing that you really want to go back to read is the executive order, right? This is Executive Order 14067. This was March of 2022. This talked about advancements and use of digital and DLT for financial services. They talked about digital assets. They talked about the crypto market specifically. They talked about and addressed CBDC's regulations and how to adopt these technologies and how disruptive this technology actually is. They are already planning it. They already have the plan in place. But now they have to divert as much attention away from this as possible because, again, not everyone will get rich. This is why you need to understand the game that's actually being played here. They don't care about anything besides making sure that people stay in the rat race, make sure that people are following the herd, distracted as always, and missing out on one of the largest changes in history. But make sure to pay attention to this Deploying American Blockchains Act of 2023. This is all to promote competitiveness and use of these applications. Again, blockchain adoption is happening. They are making the big moves. It's crazy that this is going undercover simply because we're being distracted by all this nonsense about how crypto's this, crypto's that. But guess what? We're not distracted. No, we're actually looking into this and trying to tell what they are distracting us away from. But big shout out to 801_XRP and also Mr. Man XRP. We do see here the DABA 23, Deploying American Blockchain Act 2023. In this act, blockchain and DLT, the term blockchain technology or DLT means a decentralized digital database that's shared across a network of computers to create a ledger, helping to promote the leadership of the United States with respect to the use of blockchain and DLT. Good looking at Mr. Man XRP. And you can see everything within this. If you guys do want to go check it out, you guys are more than welcome to. I don't want to go too in depth, but a lot of the quotes here are crucial to note. Again, here we have Deploying American Blockchain Act 2023, support interoperability of blockchain, support operations, including hashing and key storage and security systems that form the foundation of blockchain or other DLT technology, tokens and tokenization, support open source infrastructure, data management, and authentication activities with respect to blockchain. Again, all of the standardization regulations, the plans, they're in place. And it all started back in 2022 at the same time that we start to see all of the real world events taking over the news platforms, taking over mainstream media, distracting everyone away from, again, DLT, digital assets, crypto, things like that. What's going to be happening over the course of the next couple of years? I mean, millionaires, many wealthy individuals will be made over the course of the next couple of years. I strongly believe it. And listen, as we look at the space right now, like, we're still droplets of water in the bucket. $1.6 trillion market cap. You have to be joking. We are going much larger than that in the next couple years. Like, we're not even talking about this cycle. We're not even talking about, you know, the big boom. We're not talking about any of that. No, we're talking about the actual big moves. Utility going live. Major adoption happening. It truly is coming. They're laying the foundation for all of this to happen while distracting you away from it. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on for more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.